Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
An 18-year-old is dead after a shooting in Rockford as police investigate the city's latest murder.
Rockford Police put out the Help Wanted sign. The department's focused on one particular type of applicant.
And Rock Valley College and Rockford University hold a career fair as dozens of local employers are looking to hire. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A teenager is dead after a shooting in Rockford last night.
This was the start of a violent night in the Forest City. Police were called to the area of Haskell near Whitman Street to reports of a shooting victim around 7. An 18-year-old man was found on the sidewalk suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. At the same time, a 16-year-old boy arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg. He's expected to be okay. Multiple suspects were detained near the scene of the shooting. The investigation is still ongoing. A little over an hour later, another person was shot in Rockford. Officers were called to Sablewood Drive just south of Halstead Road around 8:30 to reports of a shooting. A 56-year-old woman was shot in the leg. She told police she was sitting outside when a dark-colored van drove past and someone opened fire toward the house. If you have any information about the shooting, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
Fog might have played a factor in an early morning crash in Boone County. Crews were called to Route 20 just east of Garden Prairie around 5:30. They found a Jeep rolled over in the grass. The front of the vehicle had heavy damage. This video isn't the greatest quality, but it looks pretty foggy in that area. There's no word on any injuries. Investigators haven't released a cause for the crash. Staying in Boone County, one person's hurt after a head-on accident on I-90. Police were called to the Irene Road exit ramp around 9 last night. A pickup truck and semi-truck collided. The pickup's driver was taken to the hospital. We don't have any information about their condition or what caused this crash. Nearly every industry and profession is looking for new talent. It's no different for the Rockford Police Department.
Our Nicole Delgado sat down with an RPD officer about who they're looking for. Nicole?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. The Rockford Police Department is hiring experienced officers. They're looking to hire the future leaders of the department.
For the laterals, the experienced police officers, it's huge for us right now. Just like everybody across the nation, especially in the state of Illinois, we're all struggling to get police officers.
Officer Katie Statler is the recruiter for RPD. While Rockford has a high crime rate, she says it's the community that keeps many of them going.
It's not the crime that is kind of steering people away. It's what we do as a profession and how much the community backs you.
The department is looking for officers who are in a smaller department and want a new opportunity, or someone wanting to make a lateral move to Rockford.
This is a career. This is a place where you come to a department and you want to stay, and that's what Rockford presents for the incoming officers, either being lateral or entry level. It's just not taking a test and we hand you a badge and a gun. There's a lot to it. And it's a very long process. And so our laterals, we shorten that because of the fact they've already done that through their current department. So now we try to make it a little easier, cut out some of the written exams and the testing process so it's smoother for them. They've earned that, right? They've already earned the state certificate. They've already earned the right and the respect for the current department that they're working for.
Statler says getting an experienced officer means there are more eyes out on the city quicker.
Almost a full year for entry level to get on the street on their own, and we can do that in 3 months or less with an experienced police officer. So it's helping the community out right away.
And she believes aspiring officers should know the risks associated with policing in Rockford. And the department continues to grow relationships with the community.
Do a ride along with us. I'll put you with the senior officers so you can kind of get the nitty-gritty of how it's ran and what they think of our staff and civilian and sworn, because you won't know until you actually get here.
Applicants for experienced officers are open until the end of the month. Rockford PD will take entry-level applicants starting October 1st through the 31st. Eric?
Thanks, Nicole. Speaking of job openings, Rock Valley College and Rockford University team up to hold their annual career fair. More than 60 local employers were looking to hire. It was the two schools' 7th joint career fair. This one was at RVC's Physical Education Center. Full and part-time jobs and internships were on the table. Those who attended were asked to bring their resume. Both colleges believe partnering for the fair helps hiring in the area.
And it's just a great opportunity to combine resources because we have the same goal of helping our students meet employment opportunities for when they graduate.
The first 25 attendees received a free Rock Valley or RU t-shirt. Illinois law enforcement leaders want to strengthen opioid prevention efforts by investing in early childhood programs.
They say the settling of several lawsuits against opioid distributors and manufacturers will bring in hundreds of millions of dollars to the state over the next 20 years. Those leaders believe some of the money should be committed to helping the youngest and most vulnerable victims of the opioid crisis. Winnebago County State's Attorney Jay Hanley is among those calling for action. His adopted daughter, Eloise, spent 6 weeks in the NICU due to opioids.
And so, my hope is that in being a part of this effort, that there will be less, if not no kids with those issues. And then you get into kind of what we're dealing with now, and that is we've got these resources. We've got this money that's coming to the state and to the counties, and how should we spend that money? And to be frank, the best way we should spend that money is through early intervention.
According to an expert, a baby is born with opioid withdrawal every 25 minutes nationwide. As Congress returns from recess, lawmakers are under pressure to address the rising number of migrants coming to the U.S.-Mexico border.
Republicans and Democrats agree something needs to be done, but Anna Warnicki shows us they don't agree on how to do it.
We're seeing at our southern border a complete unmitigated disaster.
Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz says the surge of migrants arriving at the southern border gets worse by the day.
It doesn't really matter what hour you go out because they're coming across in a constant flow.
Cruz and his Republican colleagues, including Texas's other Senator John Cornyn, say the Biden administration is to blame.
There's no question there's a crisis at the border, notwithstanding the fact that President Biden and his administration have been ignoring it for the entire time.
The situation is unsustainable.
Texas Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar says if anyone is to blame, it's Congress.
Escobar is urging lawmakers to pass an immigration bill soon. She says border communities are at a critical point because they're not able to process the number of migrants that are arriving.
We have to address root causes, but we also have to expand legal pathways.
I think that's a mistake.
But Senator Cruz rejects that idea.
That is the political priority for Democrats. The reason they're allowing open borders is they view every illegal immigrant as a future Democrat voter.
Unless either party wins a supermajority, any immigration bill needs to be bipartisan to clear Congress. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, good evening. Welcome back. We are at the home here of Greg and Leslie Coates in Cherry Valley for our last weather in your backyard. We have had some pretty spectacular weather here over the summer months, and of course some delicious food provided by Sablewood. And joining me now, I have Rosalie here with Sablewood. Oh, number one rule of TV, you got to turn that phone off. No. Well, you're busy. You're working. You're on duty here. But I just want to say thank you so much to both the Cherry Valley location and the Sablewood North for providing the food, throughout our weather in your backyard events. It's been delicious. I know everybody has enjoyed it, but you've got some fun stuff coming up here at the restaurants. Tell me a little about that.
Well, we have our new, even though it doesn't feel like it today, we have our new fall drink menu out. So you can come and have an apple cider Moscow Mule or a pumpkin pie martini. Sablewood North is featuring their new fall salad, I know, coming up here real soon. And homecoming is coming up. So I have 3 teenagers and they're excited about homecoming. And we would love to have the kids come out and have homecoming dinner at Sablewood.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. And thank you again so much, for both locations, for coming out and visiting with, we've made a lot of new friends over the last 10, 11 weeks or so.
Absolutely. I feel like we're best friends.
We are best friends. Well, thank you again for providing the food. What did you bring for us here for the Coates tonight?
I brought our party pizza, which you got to give us a 24-hour notice, but that is available. Okay. I brought chicken wings, tortellini, and salad tonight.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, a big clapping applause in the backyard, in the background for that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We've had so many new customers, and we've loved it. So I just want to thank you guys, and thank everybody who's came out and supported us. Thank you.
Yes, we are looking forward to maybe next year too, doing this once again, as long as the weather cooperates. In the next couple of days, we've got some pretty nice weather coming up. Let's take you out west in Freeport with our SkyTrack camera out of the Park Hills Golf Course. Lots of sunshine, not too much of a breeze out there as high pressure continues to remain in control for us here as we go through the rest of this evening. That clear sky will continue as we go through the night as high pressure remains the dominant weather feature across much of the country. Unfortunately, out west, it has brought a lot of heat out there as those triple-digit numbers continue out over parts of California. You know, we got down into the 50s here this morning, but with the sunshine, we were able to warm rather quickly for this afternoon, back into the low 80s, and that's where we sit right now in Rockford. 81, 79 in Freeport, Dixon, 78 in Rochelle, 76 our temperature currently down in DeKalb. As we go through the night, temperatures will drop down into the 50s, 57 degrees, so another cool night, but watch for some fog tomorrow morning. When you've got that clear sky and light wind, that's the perfect recipe along with that low level moisture to bring in some fog here, and we could see some of that. And just like what we saw this morning, some of that could be a little on the dense side, so be careful. Visibility drop down to less than just a few tenths of a mile in a couple of locations. 84 for tomorrow afternoon, so the fog doesn't last. As the sun comes up, we will see that burn off rather quickly, and a partly cloudy sky as winds will stay light from the south. Notice we hang on to a southerly wind going through the day tomorrow. That'll help bring temperatures up just a couple of degrees from where we were here this afternoon. Still comfortable though. We still stay pretty dry with the dew point temperatures in the 50s, so there's not a lot of humidity. I do think we fall back into the 50s once again tomorrow night into Friday. Friday temperatures will climb back into the 80s. Should be nice for week 3 here, I believe it is, of our Friday night football games. But some big changes coming up once we get into the weekend. Temperature on Saturday will make it into the 80s, but it doesn't last. Look at that drop behind that cold front. Cloud cover comes in. As a result of the clouds and a northeasterly wind, temperatures can actually stay in the 60s for not only Sunday, but Monday too, depending on how fast that cold front kind of clears out here as we go throughout the first part of next week. Once we get into next week, that temperature will stay in the 70s, 70 degrees on Monday, 74 on Tuesday, 76 on Wednesday, but those overnight lows will be dropping back, Eric and Mimi, down into the 50s. So some cooler nights ahead, so you may actually see some of the colors on the leaves begin to change a little more with those warmer afternoons and cooler nights. You know, during our 4 o'clock news, I got in the pool, and they've been tempting me to do it once again. So maybe I'll do it again to signify our last weather in your backyard coming up at 6 o'clock. Eric and Mimi, I'll toss it back over to you.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
We have seen the last of one of the great sports events in Rockford's history. The Rockford Pro-Am Golf Tournament, a staple every summer in Rockford for more than 4 decades, will no longer be held. Reagan Holgate tells us why.
This has been a big part of our lives, all of us, for a long time.
It's the end of an era.
Sorry, it's just hard.
43 years of the Rockford Pro-Am comes to an end.
43 years of your life is a long time.
Many of us had our families grow up here. If you can't tell, it's a sad day.
43 years of community, of bringing the game's greats to Rockford, Illinois. Curtis Strange, Arnold Palmer, John Daly, Laura Davies, Nancy Lopez, and the list goes on.
It's a great story for Rockford, really it is.
Former board president Mike Tully recalled the time a few years ago when he ran into Freddie Couples and they got to talking about the Pro-Am.
He goes, how many years? And I said it was 42 or something, 43 years. And he goes, Mike, I got to tell you, that's truly remarkable. Nobody, I'm getting like Scott, nobody will ever repeat that, no question about it.
A lot of conversations happened before making the final decision, but after pausing the last 2 years, board president Scott Nicholas knew there was no coming back.
We just decided, let's go out on top. Let's go out having had a really great event for the city for 43 years.
The Pro-Am relied heavily on local sponsors to keep the ship afloat, and after the pandemic, those charitable donations went elsewhere.
While it's a somber day, we hope it'll become a bit of a storytelling celebration of something really neat in Rockford.
For 43 years, the Rockford Pro-Am gave this community something to come together for. And that will always be pretty special.
I think we've done something that's pretty special for our community, and you always want to give a little back to your community. and I think we've done that.
They sure did. That was Reagan Holgate reporting. We'll be right back.
Well, things are going to stay pretty quiet for us as we go through this evening. So you've got some things and events going on here tonight. No issues with the weather. Nice and quiet. The First Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and more. Skies are going to stay dry. We really won't see any rainfall until later in the weekend. For tonight, temperatures will drop down to about 57 degrees. So it'll be another cool start tomorrow. And there may even end up being some locally dense fog tomorrow morning. Watch for that. That'll burn off quickly as the sun comes up. 84 for tomorrow afternoon. 85 on Friday, low 80s going into the weekend. You've got a chance for some showers moving in and a drop in temperatures too. So you go from kind of a summer-like feel for the start of the weekend more to really a fall-like feel. Those temperatures, they will stay in the 70s once we get into next week. And check out those overnight lows dropping back into the 50s.
Yeah, it almost looks like both weekend days are two different seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at least they're having some fun at that pool party out there.
Looks like fun and great food, too. Thanks, Candace, and thank you for spending time with us. Stay safe.